In the late 1980s, Sega faced a giant. Nintendo dominated the video game market. Their mascot, Mario, was a global superstar. Sega needed its own champion. They required a character that could stand toe-to-toe with the famous plumber. This new hero had to be different, embodying Sega's edgier and cooler brand image. The mission was clear: create an icon that would define Sega for a generation. The pressure was on to deliver something truly special, something that could capture hearts and minds worldwide. Sega decided to hold an internal competition. They asked their artists to design a new mascot. Many concepts were submitted, ranging from kangaroos to armadillos. The company was searching for that perfect character. Naoto Oshima, a young artist, presented a unique idea. His design was a blue hedgehog with red shoes and a confident smirk. Initially named Mr. Needlemouse, this character exuded speed and attitude. Oshima's creation immediately caught the attention of Sega's executives, who saw its potential to be the face of their company. The first game launched in June 1991 for the Sega Genesis. It was an instant sensation. The game's core appeal was its incredible sense of speed. Players zipped through lush, detailed levels filled with loops and springs. This was a stark contrast to the slower, more methodical platformers of the time. The gameplay required quick reflexes and rewarded exploration. It wasn't just a game, it was an experience that showcased the power of the Genesis console and Sega's innovative spirit. Sonic quickly became Sega's flagship character. He was the embodiment of the company's "Welcome to the Next Level" slogan. The game's success was a massive boost for Sega. It helped the Genesis console gain significant market share against Nintendo's Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Sonic was more than just fast, he was cool. He had an undeniable rebellious charm that resonated with young audiences. He represented a new era of gaming, full of energy and excitement, perfectly capturing the zeitgeist of the early 1990s. Sega moved swiftly to build on Sonic's initial triumph. It was released in 1992, famously on Sonic 2 This sequel was bigger, faster, and introduced the iconic spin-dash move. It also brought Sonic a sidekick. The world of Sonic continued to grow with, in 1993, for the SEGA CD. This title featured impressive animated cutscenes, a time travel mechanic, and a critically acclaimed soundtrack. Each new game expanded the lore and refined the gameplay, keeping fans eagerly anticipating the next adventure. The momentum continued with, and both released in 1994. These games were ambitious, featuring larger zones and deeper narratives. A key innovation was the lock-on technology. Players could physically attach the cartridge to or. This created new expanded game experiences. For instance, locking on created the complete epic. This was a novel concept that offered incredible value and replayability to players during that era. These sequels introduced memorable characters that became staples of the franchise. Miles Tails Prower, a young, intelligent fox with two tails, made his debut in. Tails could fly by spinning his tails like a helicopter. He could carry Sonic to new heights or be controlled by a second player. This added a cooperative element to the fast-paced action. Tails quickly became Sonic's best friend and a beloved character in his own right, offering a gentler counterpoint to Sonic's brashness. Another significant character, Knuckles the Echidna, first appeared in. Initially, Dr. Robotnik tricked Knuckles into believing Sonic was a villain. Knuckles was the guardian of the Master Emerald. He possessed super strength, could glide through the air and climb walls. His introduction added a new dynamic, serving as both a rival and eventual ally to Sonic. Of course, the primary antagonist remained the nefarious Dr. Ivo Robotnik, later widely known as Dr. Eggman, a brilliant but comically evil scientist bent on world domination. The mid to late 1990s presented significant challenges for Sega. Their 32-bit console, the Sega Saturn, struggled to gain traction against Sony's PlayStation and the Nintendo 64. Developing for the Saturn was notoriously complex. This difficult period meant fewer flagship Sonic titles were released. The mascot, who had defined 2D speed, now faced the daunting task of transitioning into the third dimension. Fans wondered if Sonic's lightning-fast gameplay could translate effectively into a 3D world, a hurdle many popular 2D franchises stumbled over. Sega launched the Dreamcast in 1999. This innovative console was Sega's final foray into hardware manufacturing. With it came renewed hope for Sonic, Released alongside the Dreamcast was Sonic's first full-fledged 3D platforming game. It was a landmark title. The game was a critical and commercial success. It proved that Sonic could indeed thrive in a 3D environment. Featured multiple playable characters, each with unique abilities and storylines, all interwoven into a larger, engaging narrative. Was widely praised for its impressive graphics, sense of speed, and ambitious scope. It successfully translated Sonic's core mechanics into 3D. The game introduced the homing attack, allowing Sonic to target enemies mid-air, which became a standard move in subsequent 3D titles. Levels were vast and varied, from bustling cityscapes to ancient ruins. Despite the Dreamcast's untimely demise and its sequel, remained highlights of the console's library and pivotal moments in Sonic's history. Following the discontinuation of the Dreamcast, Sega made a historic shift. They became a third-party software publisher. This meant Sonic games would no longer be exclusive to Sega hardware. Instead, the blue blur would appear on platforms owned by former competitors, including Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. While this was a difficult transition for many loyal Sega fans, it ensured Sonic's continued relevance. It allowed the character to reach a broader audience than ever before, securing his place in the evolving gaming landscape. Throughout the 2000s and beyond, Sonic continued to be a prolific figure in gaming. Sega explored various gameplay styles. 2003 emphasized team-based mechanics with multiple character formations. 2008 controversially introduced the Werehog combat sections alongside traditional speed stages. For Sonic's 20th anniversary in 2011 was released. This game brilliantly combined classic 2D Sonic gameplay with modern 3D action, earning praise from both critics and fans for its nostalgic yet fresh approach. A significant modern success was 2017. This title was a passionate love letter to Sonic's 16-bit origins. It was developed by a team of talented fans and programmers who understood the essence of classic Sonic. The game featured pixel-perfect graphics, remixed classic stages, and entirely new zones. It received widespread critical acclaim and was a commercial hit, proving the timeless appeal of Sonic's 2D formula. More recently, 2022 introduced an open zone format, taking Sonic into a more expansive open-world style of gameplay. Sonic's appeal has transcended the world of video games. He has been the star of numerous animated television series over the decades. Shows like Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic Satam, and Sonic X introduced the character to new audiences. In recent years, Sonic achieved major mainstream success on the silver screen. The live-action/CGI hybrid movies, 2020 and 2022, were global box office hits. They further cemented Sonic's status as a pop culture icon for a new generation. For over 3 decades, Sonic the Hedgehog has remained one of gaming's most recognizable and beloved characters. He represents speed, an indomitable spirit, and the coolness of the 1990s. Sonic was instrumental in Sega's challenge to Nintendo, defining an era of intense console wars. His enduring legacy is seen in his continued presence across games, movies, and merchandise. The blue blur has left an indelible mark on the gaming industry.